A routine traffic stop turns violent when Officer Mitchell slams 17-year-old Marcus Hayes onto the pavement. But when the body cam footage reaches his precinct, Mitchell discovers a devastating truth. This is the same young man who pulled his daughter from a burning car 12 months ago, a hero he never got to thank. The rain comes down in sheets, turning Riverside Avenue into a mirror of red and blue chaos. Officer Daniel Mitchell's hands grip Marcus Hayes' shoulders with the force of 15 years on the job, 15 years of protocol, suspicion, and split-second decisions. The boy's body hits the pavement hard. The sound is wet and final. Marcus's cheekbone cracks against asphalt. Blood blooms instantly, mixing with rainwater and running toward the gutter. His breath comes in short, panicked gasps. I wasn't... The words die in his throat as Mitchell's knee presses between his shoulder blades. Don't you dare move. Mitchell's voice is granite. His hand finds the boy's wrist, twisting it behind his back. The crowd of late-night pedestrians freezes. Phones rise like a forest of glowing eyes. A woman in a coffee shop doorway screams. A man in a construction vest shouts something about brutality. Mitchell doesn't hear them. He only hears the roar of his own blood, the training that screamed threat, threat, threat when the boy reached for his phone. Marcus's face is pressed into the wet street. Above him, the officer's breathing is ragged, defensive. The world blurs. Somewhere in the distance, backup sirens wail. But all Marcus can feel is the cold, the pain, and the suffocating weight of being seen as something he's not. The rain washes everything red. 24 hours earlier, Marcus Hayes sits in the back corner of Lincoln High's library, calculus textbook open, pencil tapping a quiet rhythm. The afternoon light slants through tall windows, catching dust motes and the concentration on his face. He's 17, lean and careful, the kind of kid teachers praise and classmates barely notice. His scholarship to State University depends on this semester. Perfect grades, perfect attendance, perfect invisibility. He tutors freshmen on Tuesday afternoons and volunteers at Riverside Food Bank on Saturdays. His phone buzzes, a text from his mother reminding him to pick up milk on the way home. He smiles. At home, his 9-year-old sister Amaya keeps a photo of him taped to her bedroom wall. That's my brother, she tells anyone who'll listen. He's going to be an engineer. Their mother works double shifts at County Hospital, scrubs always smelling like disinfectant and exhaustion. Marcus is the steady one, the responsible one, the one who keeps the lights on and the doors locked. His world is small and structured. Wake at 6, school, library, home, dinner with Amaya, help with homework, repeat. He doesn't go to parties, doesn't stay out late. He learned early that safety lives in routine, in being beyond reproach. 15 miles across town, Officer Daniel Mitchell sits in his cruiser outside a convenience store, nursing lukewarm coffee. 15 years with Riverside PD, decorated twice for bravery, respected by his squad. He's 43, divorced 3 years, and his daughter Emma is the only light in an otherwise grey existence. He doesn't talk about the night last year when she nearly died. Doesn't talk about the stranger who pulled her from the wreckage while flames ate the air. He spent months trying to find that boy to say thank you, but the dash cam footage was too blurry, and no one came forward. Mitchell's world is order and protocol, black and white, right and wrong. He prides himself on reading situations quickly, on trusting his gut. Tonight his gut will betray him. Marcus's mother's sedan, a 15-year-old Honda with a cracked dashboard, makes a clicking sound as he drives home from the library. The left taillight flickers, then dies. He curses softly. He'll fix it tomorrow. Right now he just wants to get home before his mom starts worrying. Riverside Avenue is nearly empty at 10 p.m. Streetlights cast long shadows. Marcus adjusts the radio, Bach's cello suite filling the quiet. Then the flash of blue and red in his rearview mirror. His heart drops. He signals, pulls over carefully, and rolls down the window before the officer even approaches. Hands on the wheel, visible, compliant. His mother's instructions echo like a prayer. Yes, sir. No, sir, don't move unless they tell you to. Mitchell's flashlight beam cuts through the darkness, hitting Marcus square in the face. The boy squints but doesn't move. License and registration. Mitchell's voice is flat, procedural. Yes, sir. Marcus reaches slowly toward the glove compartment. Mitchell's hand moves to his holster. Slowly, the air thickens. Marcus's fingers tremble as he retrieves the documents. It's my mom's car, officer. The taillight just went out. I was heading home to save it. Mitchell scans the license. Marcus Hayes, 17, Lincoln High, clean record. But something nags at Mitchell. The late hour, the hoodie, the nervousness. He's seen it before. Kids lying, hiding something. Marcus's phone buzzes in the cup holder. A text from his mother. Without thinking, he reaches for it. I just need to tell my mom, hands where I can see them. Mitchell's voice explodes. His hand is on his weapon now. The training takes over. Escalation, threat assessment, control the situation. Marcus freezes, hands shooting up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Get out of the car now. The boy's eyes go wide with fear. He opens the door slowly, stepping into the rain. A couple across the street stops walking. A man in a passing car slows down. Phones appear, turn around, hands on the vehicle. Marcus complies, shaking now. Mitchell's hand finds the back of his neck. Too hard, too fast. The boy flinches. Mitchell reads it as resistance, and then the world tilts. Mitchell's training screams control the subject, and his hands push, twist, slam. Marcus's face meets the pavement with a sickening crack. Gasps ripple through the growing crowd. Someone shouts. Someone films. Mitchell's knee presses into the boy's back. Stay down. Don't move. Mitchell's voice is all authority, no doubt, but his hands are shaking. Somewhere deep in his gut, something whispers, wrong, wrong, wrong. He ignores it. Marcus's world is pain and cold and the metallic taste of blood. The rain falls harder now, drumming against his skull, washing red streaks toward the storm drain. His cheek throbs where bone met asphalt. The handcuffs bite into his wrists. Above him, Mitchell barks orders at the gathering crowd. Step back. This is police business. But the phones don't lower. The murmurs grow louder. Someone yells police brutality, and the words hang in the air like an accusation. Marcus closes his eyes. His mother's voice echoes in his mind. Keep your head down, baby. Be respectful. Don't give them a reason. He didn't. He did everything she taught him. Hands visible, voice calm, compliance in every gesture. And still the pavement tastes like failure. He thinks of Amaya, of the way she looks at him like he's invincible. What will he tell her? How will he explain that sometimes doing everything right isn't enough? His scholarship application sits on his desk at home, half-finished. The essay question, describe a moment when you overcame adversity. Bitter laughter rises in his throat but can't escape past the weight on his back. This isn't adversity. This is injustice. One broken taillight. One nervous gesture. One officer who looked at his face and saw a threat instead of a kid trying to get home. Backup arrives. 2 more cruisers, more voices, more lights. Someone helps Marcus to his feet. His legs barely hold him. The world spins. An EMT approaches with a medical kit, but Mitchell waves her off. He's fine. Just a scrape. Marcus isn't fine. His body will heal, but something else, something fragile and essential has cracked open inside him. Trust, safety, the belief that doing right protects you. The sirens fade as they load him into the cruiser, but the ringing in his ears never stops. 1 year ago, Marcus was driving past Miller Road intersection, the stretch everyone avoids after dark, because the streetlights never work, and the county hasn't repaved it in a decade. He was coming home from a debate tournament, trophy in the back seat, exhaustion in his bones. Then he saw the wreck, a silver sedan crumpled against an oak tree like aluminum foil. Smoke poured from the hood. Then flames, small at first, then hungry. Marcus didn't think. His debate coach's voice vanished. His mother's warnings disappeared. He just ran. The heat hit him like a wall. The driver's door was jammed, metal twisted. Inside, a girl screamed. Blonde, 16 maybe, her leg pinned beneath the dashboard. Blood streaked her face. Her eyes found his through the smoke. "Help me, please, I can't move." Marcus's hands found the doorframe. The metal burned through his palms, but he pulled. Once, twice. The door shrieked and gave. He reached in, found her shoulders, and pulled her free. Her scream tore through the night. Her leg was broken, twisted wrong. He carried her 20 feet from the car and collapsed. She sobbed in his arms. "Don't leave me. Please don't leave me." He held her, whispering that help was coming, that she was safe. The fuel tank exploded 30 seconds later. The shockwave knocked them flat. Marcus shielded her body with his until the flames died down. When the ambulance arrived, he gave his statement to a distracted EMT and disappeared before anyone could ask his name. That's who Marcus is. Someone who runs toward danger when others run away. Someone who helps because it's right, not because anyone's watching. He never asked for thanks, never waited for recognition. He just went home, bandaged his burned palms, and told his mother he'd scraped them playing basketball. Officer Daniel Mitchell never knew the boy's name. He only knew that someone, some stranger in the darkness, pulled his daughter Emma from that wreck and vanished. He spent months searching. He checked local hospitals for anyone treated for burns that night. He enhanced the dashcam footage until it was nothing but pixels. But Marcus Hayes was a ghost, and Mitchell never stopped looking for the boy he owed everything to. At Riverside Precinct, Mitchell files his report at 11:47 p.m. His hands are steady now, the adrenaline crash settling into routine. Routine traffic stop. Subject exhibited suspicious behavior and reached for unknown object in vehicle. Subject resisted verbal commands. Force was necessary to secure compliance. Minor injuries sustained. Subject currently in holding. He doesn't mention the boy's face, the terror, the confusion, the way his voice cracked when he said, "I'm sorry." Doesn't mention the crowd's reaction or the phones recording every second. Doesn't mention the whisper in his gut that's been screaming since the moment Marcus's face hit the pavement. Sergeant Maria Alvarez reviews the body cam footage in the evidence room. She's been with the department 22 years, and she's seen everything. But tonight her hands pause on the keyboard. She rewinds the footage, plays it again. Her face goes pale. "Mitchell." Her voice cuts through the squad room. "Get in here, now." He approaches, annoyed, exhausted. "What is it?" She points at the screen. Marcus's face frozen mid-fall, blood bright against dark skin, eyes wide with shock. "Look at him." "Really look." Mitchell leans closer. His chest tightens. Something about the boy's features, the shape of his face, the line of his jaw. Alvarez opens another file. Dashcam footage from Miller Road, 12 months old. The video is grainy, shot from a distance, but clear enough. A boy in a hoodie running toward a burning car. The same boy pulling a blonde girl from the wreckage. The same boy cradling her while flames consume the vehicle behind them. Alvarez pauses both videos side by side. Marcus Hayes, past and present. Same cheekbones, same height. Same way of moving, quick, purposeful, selfless. "That's Emma, Daniel." Alvarez's voice is barely a whisper. "That's your daughter." The air leaves Mitchell's lungs. The room tilts. He grabs the desk for support. His eyes move between the two screens, the boy who saved his daughter's life and the boy whose face he just slammed into the pavement. They're the same person, the hero he spent a year searching for, the boy he wanted to thank, to embrace, to tell, "You gave me back everything." And tonight he brutalized him for a broken taillight and a nervous gesture. Mitchell's hands shake. His vision blurs. Somewhere in the distance, Alvarez is talking about protocol and internal affairs and damage control. But all Mitchell can hear is his own voice on the body cam. "Don't you dare move." The weight of what he's done crashes over him like a tidal wave. He staggers backward. His badge feels like lead. The walls close in. "What have I done?" The words are barely audible. His knees buckle. Alvarez catches his arm, but he pulls away. He can't breathe, can't think, can't unsee the two videos playing side by side. Heroism and brutality, salvation and destruction. The boy who saved his daughter is sitting in a holding cell with a split cheek and shattered trust. And Mitchell put him there. Mitchell stands outside the holding cell at 1:15 a.m. Through the reinforced glass, Marcus sits on a metal bench, head in his hands, dried blood crusting his cheek. The fluorescent lights hum overhead, casting everything in sickly yellow. Mitchell's hand hovers over the door handle. His mouth is dry. Alvarez stands beside him. "You don't have to do this now. Wait until morning. Get your head straight." But Mitchell can't wait. Every second that boy sits in that cell is another second of injustice compounding. He opens the door. The metallic click makes Marcus flinch and look up. His eyes widen with fear, instinctive animal fear of the man who hurt him. "I'm not here to—" Mitchell's voice cracks. He clears his throat. "I need to talk to you." Marcus stands slowly, backing toward the far wall. "Am I being charged with something?" "No, God, no." Mitchell takes one step inside. His hands are raised, palms out, the universal gesture of surrender. "Marcus, I made a terrible mistake tonight." The boy's jaw tightens. "A mistake? You slam my face into the ground because I reach for my phone." The words land like punches. Mitchell absorbs them. "You're right. Everything you're thinking about me right now, you're right." He takes a shaky breath. "But there's something you need to know. Miller Road, last year, the car accident." Marcus's expression shifts, confusion, then recognition dawning slowly. His eyes narrow. "What about it?" "The girl you pulled from that car." Mitchell's voice breaks. "That was Emma, my daughter. You saved her life." The silence is deafening. Marcus stares at him, processing, disbelieving. Then his face hardens. "So what? That makes this okay? You get a pass because of some coincidence?" "No." Mitchell's voice is firm. "Nothing makes this okay, nothing. But you deserve to know that I've been looking for you for a year. To thank you. To tell you that you gave me back everything that matters." His hands tremble. "And tonight I hurt the person I owe everything to." Marcus's breath comes faster. His fists clench. For a moment, hope flickers in Mitchell's chest. Maybe this can be fixed, maybe. "Get out." Marcus's voice is quiet steel. "I don't want your gratitude. I don't want your guilt. I just want to go home." The hope shatters. Mitchell nods slowly. "You're free to go. The charges are dropped. Your record will be expunged. I'll make sure of it." Marcus walks toward the door, limping slightly. As he passes Mitchell, he stops. "You didn't see me tonight. You saw something you were afraid of. That's on you, not me." He walks out without looking back. Mitchell stands alone in the empty cell, the weight of truth crushing him. Marcus doesn't go home. He walks through the rain until his clothes are soaked, and his phone dies from his mother's frantic calls. He ends up at Riverside Park, sitting on a bench overlooking the water. Dawn breaks grey and cold, his face throbs, his wrists ache where the handcuffs bit in. But worse than the physical pain is the betrayal burning in his chest. He saved that man's daughter, risked his life, asked for nothing, and in return the man saw him as a threat, as something to be controlled and subdued. His phone finally dies completely. He doesn't care. Let his mother worry. Let the world spin without him for a few hours. He's tired of being careful, of being perfect, of believing that if he just does everything right, he'll be safe. By noon, the story breaks. Someone in the crowd uploaded the body cam footage. It goes viral in hours. Cop brutalizes teen in traffic stop. The news vans arrive at the precinct. Reporters swarm. Alvarez holds a press conference, her face grim. She confirms the officer has been placed on administrative leave pending investigation, but she doesn't mention the connection. Doesn't mention Miller Road or Emma Mitchell, or the devastating irony at the heart of this story. That stays locked in evidence files, protected by protocol. Mitchell watches the press conference from his living room, still in yesterday's uniform. His phone rings constantly. Internal Affairs, the union rep, his ex-wife screaming about how this will affect Emma. He ignores them all. At 3 p.m., he drives to Marcus Hayes' address. A small house in a working-class neighborhood. He sits in his car across the street, trying to find the courage to knock. But before he can move, the front door opens. A woman in scrubs, Marcus's mother, steps out with a young girl. The girl's face is streaked with tears. They get into an old sedan and drive away. Through the window, Mitchell sees Marcus watching from inside. Face hollow. Mitchell's phone buzzes. A text from Alvarez. Internal Affairs wants your badge and gun tomorrow morning. This is going federal. I'm sorry. He sits in his car until sunset, watching the house, knowing he can never make this right, knowing he destroyed the one person who deserved his protection most. Then Emma calls. Dad, I saw the video. That boy, is that... Her voice breaks. Is that him? The one who saved me? Mitchell closes his eyes. Yes. Oh my God, Dad, what did you do? The line goes dead. Mitchell sits in the darkness, his world collapsing, and realizes he's lost everything that mattered, his daughter's respect, his integrity, and any chance of redemption. The rain starts again. Marcus doesn't leave his room for 3 days. His mother brings food that goes uneaten. Amaya knocks softly, asking if he wants to play cards. He pretends to be asleep. The world outside moves on. Reporters camp on their lawn. His principal calls offering counseling. His friends text constant support. He ignores it all. He lies in the darkness, replaying that night over and over. The rain, the fear, the pavement. The realization that everything he believed about safety and justice was a lie. On the 4th day, his mother sits on the edge of his bed. She doesn't say anything at first. Just sits there in the silence, her hand resting gently on his shoulder. Finally, she speaks. Baby, I know you're hurt. I know you're angry. But hiding doesn't change what happened. What's the point? His voice is hollow. I did everything right, Mom. Everything you taught me. And it didn't matter. No, it didn't. She doesn't offer false comfort. But you're still here. You're still breathing. That matters. Marcus sits up slowly. His cheek is healing, the swelling down, but the scar will stay. He looks at his mother. Exhausted, heartbroken, but still standing. Still fighting. How do you do it? Keep going when the world keeps breaking you. She cups his face gently. Because giving up means they win. And I didn't raise a quitter. She kisses his forehead. You saved that man's daughter. That's who you are. Don't let his mistake change that. After she leaves, Marcus sits in the quiet. Outside his window, Riverside stretches toward the horizon. His city, his home, broken and beautiful and unforgiving. Something shifts inside him. Not forgiveness. Not peace. But a small spark of resolve. He won't let this destroy him. He won't let Mitchell's fear define his story. He gets up, showers, and faces the mirror. The scar on his cheek stares back, a reminder, a mark, a testament. He touches it gently. Then he opens his laptop and starts writing. Not an essay about overcoming adversity. A statement, a testimony, the truth. Marcus's statement goes live on social media at midnight. It's raw, honest, devastating. He describes the traffic stop, the fear, the violence. Then he drops the revelation. The officer who brutalized him is the same man whose daughter he saved from a burning car 12 months ago. The internet explodes. The story shifts from police brutality to hero betrayed. News outlets scramble to verify. By morning, dashcam footage from Miller Road surfaces, grainy but unmistakable. Marcus pulling Emma from the wreckage. The explosion. The aftermath, CNN picks it up. ABC, the story goes national. Marcus's face is everywhere. Split screen with Mitchell's past and present, hero and victim. The irony is too perfect, too tragic. America can't look away. Civil rights attorneys call. Activists organize protests. But Marcus doesn't want any of it. He just wants his life back. He wants to finish his scholarship application and walk his sister to school without cameras following. He wants normal. At the precinct, Mitchell faces internal affairs in a windowless conference room. 3 investigators sit across from him, files stacked high. The lead investigator, a woman named Chen, slides a photo across the table. Marcus Hayes bloodied on the pavement. Tell us again why you felt force was necessary. Mitchell has rehearsed his answer 100 times. The training protocols, the perceived threat, the split-second decision. But when he opens his mouth, the lies won't come. I was wrong. Chen blinks. Excuse me? I was wrong. There was no threat. I saw a black kid in a hoodie reaching for his phone, and I let my assumptions control me. I violated every principle I swore to uphold. His voice is steady now, resigned. And the worst part is I did it to the person I owe everything to. The room is silent. Chen exchanges glances with her colleagues. This isn't how these interviews usually go. Cops lawyer up, deny, deflect. They don't confess. Officer Mitchell, you understand this statement can be used against you? I understand. And I don't care. He looks at the photo of Marcus. That boy deserves justice, even if it cost me everything. Chen closes her file. We'll recommend termination and criminal charges. You'll likely face assault charges and civil litigation. Mitchell nods. Good. He deserves that too. As he leaves the precinct for the last time, badge and gun surrendered, he feels something unexpected. Relief. The weight he's carried since that night finally lifts. Not absolution, just honesty. He can't undo what he did. But he can stop hiding from it. The civil lawsuit hearing takes place 6 weeks later in county courthouse, courtroom packed wall to wall. Media fills the back rows. Marcus sits at the plaintiff's table with his attorney, a fierce woman named Jordan who took the case pro bono. Across the aisle, Mitchell sits alone. His union refused to defend him after his confession. Judge Harmon, a 70-year-old black woman with steel in her eyes, calls the court to order. This is a preliminary hearing to determine if there's sufficient evidence for trial. Let's proceed. Jordan stands. Your Honor, we'll demonstrate that Officer Mitchell used excessive force without justification, violating my client's civil rights. She plays the body cam footage. The courtroom watches in silence. The stop, the fear in Marcus's voice, the brutal takedown. Gasps ripple through the gallery. Mitchell doesn't look away. He forces himself to watch every second, to see what he did, to own it completely. Then Jordan plays the Miller Road dashcam footage. Marcus running toward flames, pulling Emma free. The explosion. The rescue. This is the same young man, Jordan says quietly. The hero Officer Mitchell spent a year trying to find. And when he finally encountered him, he brutalized him. The judge's expression doesn't change, but her jaw tightens. Does the defense have a response? Mitchell stands without a lawyer. No, Your Honor. Everything Ms. Jordan said is true. I have no defense. I only have an apology. He turns to face Marcus. Marcus, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I want you to know I see you now. I see exactly who you are and what I failed to see that night. You're a better man than I'll ever be. Marcus's hands grip the table. His mother squeezes his shoulder. He doesn't respond. Doesn't acknowledge the words. Just stares straight ahead. Jordan continues. We're seeking compensatory and punitive damages, as well as mandatory reform training for the entire department. Any criminal charges? Judge Harmon asks. The DA is filing assault charges separately. This is civil. The judge reviews her notes. The courtroom holds its breath. Finally, she speaks. I'm granting the plaintiff's motion. This case will proceed to trial. Additionally, I'm ordering the Riverside Police Department to implement immediate bias training and body cam review protocols. She looks directly at Mitchell. Officer Mitchell, you've accepted responsibility. That's rare, but it doesn't erase the harm. Justice isn't about your guilt. It's about his healing. The gavel falls. The media erupts. Marcus stands slowly, his mother and sister flanking him. As they walk toward the exit, Mitchell catches his eye one last time. Marcus pauses just for a second. Their eyes meet, victim and perpetrator, hero and failure. Marcus doesn't speak, but something passes between them. Not forgiveness, but acknowledgement. The truth has been spoken. The scales are trying to balance. Then Marcus walks out into the sunlight, and Mitchell is left standing in the wreckage of his own making. The settlement comes 3 months later. Riverside PD agrees to pay Marcus $850,000, implement department-wide reforms, and issue a public apology. Mitchell pleads guilty to assault charges and receives 2 years probation, 500 hours of community service, and permanent termination from law enforcement. Marcus uses part of the settlement to pay for his mother's nursing degree. She quits the hospital and enrolls full-time. Amaya gets the new bike she's wanted for years. And Marcus finally finishes his scholarship application. He gets into State University with a full ride. On his first day of college, he stands in the dorm room unpacking boxes. His roommate, a white kid from the suburbs, asks about the scar on his cheek. Marcus touches it gently. "Reminder," he says simply, "that the world doesn't always see you clearly. But you have to keep showing up anyway." Mitchell volunteers at the Riverside Youth Center now, teaching kids about accountability and second chances. He doesn't hide what he did. When kids ask why he's no longer a cop, he tells them the truth. "I let fear make me blind, and I hurt someone who deserved my protection." Emma visits Marcus at college in his second semester. She's 18 now, pre-med, brilliant. They sit in the campus coffee shop, awkward at first. Finally, she speaks. "I don't know what to say to you." "You don't have to say anything," Marcus replies. "What your dad did isn't your fault, but you saved my life." And her voice breaks. "I'm so sorry." Marcus reaches across the table, squeezes her hand briefly. "Your dad's trying. That's more than most people do." He pauses. "And you're alive. That's what matters." They don't become friends. The wound is too deep, the connection too complicated. But they exchange numbers. Sometimes she texts him about biochemistry homework. Sometimes he responds. It's a small bridge over a vast chasm, but it's something. Marcus walks across campus as autumn leaves fall. He's not the same kid who sat in Lincoln High Library with perfect grades and invisible dreams. The scar on his face tells a story. The caution in his eyes speaks of hard lessons. But he's still here, still fighting, still showing up. That's the victory. 2 years later, Marcus stands at graduation, cap and gown, catching the afternoon sun. His mother sits in the front row crying. Amaya holds up a sign. "That's my brother, the engineer." The dean calls his name. The crowd erupts. As Marcus crosses the stage, he thinks about the night that changed everything. The rain, the fear, the moment when the world showed him its cruelest truth, that doing everything right doesn't guarantee safety, that your skin can be read as a threat before your character is considered. But he also thinks about what came after, the settlement that changed his family's life, the reforms that might protect the next kid, the scar that reminds him he survived, not unscathed, not unchanged, but alive and fighting and still believing in justice, not the kind that comes easily, but the kind you build with truth, accountability, and refusal to give up. Mitchell watches the ceremony on a live stream at the youth center. He sees Marcus's face, proud, scarred, resilient, and something breaks open in his chest. Not redemption. He'll never have that, but perhaps the smallest seed of peace. The boy he hurt is thriving. That doesn't erase the harm, but it means the harm didn't win. Marcus holds his diploma and looks out at the crowd. He thinks of the burning car, the girl he saved, the officer who couldn't see past his fear. He thinks about how one night can shatter everything, and how you rebuild anyway, piece by painful piece. The moral isn't simple. It never is. But it's clear. We are defined not by the worst thing done to us, but by how we rise after. Justice doesn't heal all wounds, but speaking truth can stop them from bleeding. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is keep showing up, scarred, wary, unbroken, and refuse to let fear win. Marcus walks off the stage into his future. The scar on his cheek catches the light. Behind him the past stretches long and painful. Ahead the horizon opens wide. He keeps walking.